All right, welcome back everybody. Today's video, I'm very excited. First off, it's my birthday today. It is July 10th, and those of you that are sharp may notice that today is a unique date. July 10th is also the birth date of Nikola Tesla. So anyway, find that kind of cool. But I am on my way. This is just sort of by chance that it's done today. I am on my way to pick up a surprise, and I'm thrilled to show you guys this. So let's dive into it. So currently I have my 18-inch wheel and factory tires on the car, and I do own 20-inch wheels and low-profile tires that are staggered set, wider at the rear, 8.5-inch wide up front, 10-inch wide at the rear, that I used for some time, and then was encountering some feathering and cupping of the tread and the tires. I wanted to try different tires. Also put a lot of miles over the winter and that on those wheels, and anyway, had some rim scuffing and different things. Wanted to have the wheels sort of touched up. So I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna have the wheels touched up, I'm gonna do something special with those wheels. So let's take a look. Holy cow, does that look awesome. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I'm on my way to the powder coater right now to pick up my wheels. I initially dropped them off, oh my goodness, probably 3 weeks ago or longer. Should have just taken a few days. They had to sandblast them down. They were previously powder coated. They had to sandblast all the powder coat off of the wheels, and then the black powder coat, and then re-powder coat them the new color. And there were apparently some issues when they re-powder coated them, so they had to go ahead and redo them again, blast them back down, re-powder coat them. And so just so happens today, on my birthday, talked to the powder coating shop. They said come by and get them. They're all done. So, and I've already got new tires for the wheels, so I'm going to pick up the wheels now. Then I will drop those off at the mounting and balancing place. Then I'll pick up the tires and bring the car there, and they will be mounting and balancing all 4 wheels and tires and install them on the car. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, you may think that I just put new wheels and tires in the car. Well, I put new tires in the car, but for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you may have already figured out these new white wheels on the car aren't new wheels at all. They're the wheels that I purchased last year. They are the Savini brand SVF wheels. From the factory, they came black with silver edges on the spokes. And so I decided to change the color, obviously. And they're not painted, they are powder coated. So I basically, what it boils down to is the 20-inch tires that I had on the car were starting to make some road noise. They were cupping and feathering, and I wanted to try some different tires, and so I was going to be pulling those tires off the wheels anyway. And then a couple of the wheels had some visual blemishes. There was some aluminum corrosion underneath the factory powder coat. There was a little bit of edge damage on the one wheel following the getting rear-ended by the person that hit me last year. And so there was the wheels had some visual blemishes anyway. And rather than have the wheels just repaired, I figured, you know what, I may as well, I'm having the tires taken off to have the wheels visually corrected anyway. I may as well go ahead and change the color. Now, as a sidebar, I'm really not a big fan of white wheels. They're sort of a thing these days, but I really don't like white wheels on anything other than a white car. I've seen white wheels on red cars. Sometimes it's okay in a black car, but basically a white car looks fine with white wheels. And the white color looks best with multi-spoke wheels. I don't really like the look of white wheels when they're just basic 5-spoke or something. You really need to have a lot of spokes to accentuate the white wheel look. So one of the things I do like about white wheels is that it brightens up the inside of the wheel. When you look beyond the spokes to the inside dish portion of the wheel, it's much brighter in there. Dark color wheels, it just makes it look like a big cave or a shadow behind the spokes of the wheel. So I like that white look as far as when you have deep dished wheels like I have, especially the rears are 10-inch wide. And so you'll notice that the tires that I'm using are Falken brand tires. So let's take a look at those. The tires that I got are Falken Azenis FK510. These are a 50 psi rated and extra load rated tire. They have a tread wear rating of 300, so the tread wear rating is not as high as some others that you can get, but I wanted to try a stickier tire. Also, these tires were far less expensive than some of the others that I researched. I believe it was $638 for all 4 tires shipped, and obviously I had to have them mounted and balanced, but yeah, I'm not too worried about the longevity of them. These are a stickier tire. That also means that the overall lifespan of the tires isn't going to be nearly as high as some of the others, but the efficiency will be less than the others as well because it's a stickier tire. But yeah, I'm very happy with the overall look. This is it's something I've thought about for some time, and I really didn't want to go the route of white wheels on a car that was any other color other than white. So, but I think that the white wheels look really good on a white car. Now, my reasoning behind going with Falken tires is multifaceted. First off, I was looking for a quiet tire, and the Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Plus tires that I had on it, they were fine, but you could hear them. And as they began to feather and cup, they started to make a lot of road noise, and really not something that I wanted. And it got to the point that it was actually annoying. And so I wanted quieter tires, and I wanted tires that gripped a little bit better. And so I started doing some research. Now, when I purchased those tires back, I don't know, about a year back, there wasn't much in the sizes that I need. I have a staggered setup. The rear wheels are wider than stock, and to get the proper 30 profile rear tires to match with the 35 profile fronts, to get the OD of the front and rear tires the same, even though the width is different, last year there were only 2 options and of tires that I could get that fit the front and rear wheels. And now there are a slew of options, and in fact many of the options that are available are acoustic rated for Teslas. Now, these tires are not acoustic rated, but all the reviews that I read on them were that they're very quiet, and indeed they are. Right now, can you hear any road noise? I mean, these are very quiet tires. Now, they have a tread wear rating of 300. I would have preferred a higher tread wear rating, but I got to be honest with you, I'll probably I don't know that I would want high tread wear rating on tires that I dislike. So I didn't want to get tires that were going to wear out immediately, but I also didn't want tires that were going to last forever if I hated the tires. Now that I like this tread style and the Falken brand, maybe I'll look to see if they make a tire by the time these wear out, if they make a tire with a higher tread wear rating but the same tread style. So these tires have very wide circular grooves in them, for wet weather running, but very, very narrow grooves going crosswise, and that minimizes road noise. And I read a bunch of reviews, and all the reviewers commented, even though these tires aren't acoustically rated, they are super quiet. Now, none of the reviewers had them on a Tesla, but a number of the reviewers had them on different cars that they made mention that my last tires were kind of noisy on the road. These Falcons are very quiet. Also, they grip really, really well. All the reviewers said that. They said these are one of the highest gripping tires, at least in their price range. And that brings me to the subject of price. My Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Plus tires that were on here were $1,200. These tires shipped to me were $683, if I remember correctly. Now, I did have to have them mounted and balanced after that, but that really wasn't all that expensive. So these were extremely inexpensive tires. So a lot of tires I looked at were $400 or $500 per tire. Per tire. It was insane. So $683 for all 4 tires shipped to me. That was a pretty good deal. So then I paid a couple $100s to have the wheels powder coated and then and sandblasting as well. So it was all in, it was about $1,000 endeavor getting the new tires on these wheels, as well as they have the wheels sandblasted down to the aluminum and powder coated, and they're powder coated a bright white, and it's two coats of powder coat, just because one coat of white over silver wheels will give them a bit of a silver hue to the white, so you need to have them double coated. And so far I'm very, very happy with them. Today this is my first full day of use. I put them on middle of the day yesterday, so I only had part of a day of use on the tires. But today I've gone so far 85 miles, and I've averaged 210 watt-hours per mile, which makes these tires about 11% less efficient than the Tesla 18-inch Aero wheels and tires, which figures about right, because Tesla tells you that there is a 10% penalty going from the 18-inch Aero wheels and tires to their 19s or 20s. There's a 10% penalty, and these are about 11% or 12% less efficient. But these tires are they are actually a little bit more efficient than the Michelin Pilot Sports that they replace, and they grip better. Now they have a lower tread wear rating, so we'll see what the longevity is, but the Pilot Sports began cupping and feathering pretty early, so we'll see. The Pilot Sports were good tires. I don't mean to bash them, but this is the first time I've ever purchased Falcon tires, so I'm curious to see how they wear long term. But yeah, so far I love the look of these wheels and tires. Absolutely love them. Now, I'm sure this look will be polarizing. I'm sure there'll be a number of people in the comment section that say that they really don't like them. That's fine. I love them, and I had so many comments. Yesterday, I was in a customer's driveway. He came out to meet me. He said, "Oh my gosh, the car looks awesome. Where did you get those wheels?" While we were talking about the car, a neighbor of his across the street, I noticed he had a Cobra kit car in his garage, hollered from across the street, "Nice car, I love the wheels." I mean, these wheels are, they're very visually loud, shall I say. They really make a statement. And not that I'm trying to show off, but the 18-inch Aero wheels, they're very plain. The Aero hubcaps, personally, I don't like the look of the hubcaps. Some people love them. I personally don't. I think that the car looks very aggressive, the Model 3, and the 18-inch, especially with the hubcaps, Aero wheels and tires, they look like something that you'd see on a Toyota Camry or something, not on a premium car. And now, also, the look of this car, I think, would be a little bit ridiculous with white wheels if it was the stock ride height. Right now, the ride height has been dropped 1 inch. I have T-Sportline aftermarket springs on it, and it drops the car 1 inch. And what that does is it makes the wheel well gap even around the tire. And when you have white wheels on a car, you really need to make sure that the wheel well gap is the same as the sidewall height of the tires. Otherwise, it makes the car look jacked up. So if you want to go with white wheels, I would highly recommend having the car lowered an inch, but I would not lower it more than 1 inch. Part of the reasons for that is the rear already looks just a tiny bit too low. If I had my choice, I would raise the rear maybe 1/4 of an inch. It just looks a little bit lower than I'd like to see. Also, in drive-through car washes, the alignment rollers at the tires just barely touch the bottom of the car. I can hear it just touching as I go through car washes. So any lower, and I couldn't take it through a car wash. So, but again, I do love the look and the handling of it lowered an inch. And my gosh, these tires, this car, the ride quality is great, and it handles. I mean, it is just phenomenal. Wow. At stock ride height with the 18-inch wheels and tires, it wallowed. I mean, the grip wasn't that good. There was a little bit of body roll, but with it lowered an inch, with 20-inch wheels and these Falken tires, it absolutely sticks phenomenally well. Now the staggered wheel and tire, I have the stock stock 8.5-inch wide fronts, but I went to a 10-inch wide rear, and I did that because this is a rear-wheel drive, long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3. So being a long-range car, it's got the higher power, but it's rear-wheel drive only. And with the stock width tires, it would lose traction pretty easily. So I wanted to go wider to give me better straight line acceleration. But I do have to say that the car will understeer now. However, whereas, let me backtrack, if you have a square setup, which is equal width tires front and rear, it will understeer a tiny bit, but it's more balanced. When you go with wider tires at the rear, it will understeer. So if you're at a track, you definitely want to go with a square setup. However, I'm not at a track, and if you get sticky enough tires, the understeer is really minimized, and this thing sticks so hard, I can't see wanting more grip anyway. And so I really wanted more traction. I like mid-corner getting on the throttle, and I want to minimize how much the car steps out, and the wider tires really affect that quite a bit. Also, in the wet weather, the wider tires at the rear make a massive difference. You could accelerate the car stronger, you could accelerate out of corners a lot better. So the trade-off of having some understeer at the limit in the dry and on hard corners is definitely worth it for the added benefit of the wider rear tires. They look better too, but whatever. But the main thing for me was, being a rear-wheel drive car, I wanted as much grip at the rear as I could get. So anyway, that's the story on my wheels and tires. I'm absolutely psyched. I love the look of them. And I have another really cool mod for my car coming up here soon. And really excited to show you guys. It is something that I'm fabricating. And so I'm excited to show you. I may have some help by another custom shop with this project, but it's something that I'm designing and fabricating, and it should look better and make the car better to drive, and pretty cool. I'm excited to show you guys that. That'll be a few weeks before you see anything revealed on that, but keep your eye on the channel. I don't want to go crazy and modify a ton of things, but I do want to make some changes over time, some visual things, a few modest functional things, but just to make the car exactly what I want and what I believe the car of the future should be. So anyway, on that bombshell, I'll let you guys go. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and as always, my Tesla referral code will be a link in the description below. So thanks a lot, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take it easy.